What's it been like having him back?
Busy. It's been busy because
How
he's
so?
been, last summer he shot a show and we were kind of involved in that with him. And,
Mary Jane's really involved.
Voluntarily involved this time,
Yeah.
voluntarily involved, yes.
You're part of the cast, right?
I actually got paid for the first time.
That's true. That's
Yes,
true. Yeah.
I was on the payroll.
You were helping me,
I finally made it.
helping
after all
produce
these years.
and write the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, helping produce the show. So we would actually kind of talk about ideas and plan things out. And my mother studied journalism and was a writer in her career, so an editor. We actually, actually worked together in a production capacity, not just for being pranked and stuff.
What's your earliest memory of Tom taking an interest in comedy?
In comedy, well, I recall that he did a couple of presentations at school and on comedy and
Public speaking, yeah.
and public speaking, and he came home and was quite elated. They all liked me, and were asking for my autograph and oh my God.
Not quite autograph, I don't think, but it was that laugh that we talked about in our interview.
Yeah.
But,
You were quite
got a big laugh.
Was there a moment you realized this might turn into something for him professionally?
They're still waiting for that. They're still waiting for that moment.
I think it was when he was doing the cable show on community TV. I thought, holy Christ, he's coming in at midnight, waking us up and playing tricks on us all the time. And I thought, well, could be the start of a career.
Yeah, I mean, you were always very supportive of everything, though, creatively. Like when I was a kid, I had my rap group, and you guys sort of helped finance my trip to New York City for the summer to go down and record music down there.
What were we thinking when I look back?
17 years old, going down to New York City to record rap music in a studio down there, and you guys...
with some guy we didn't really know.
Boogie, wasn't it Boogie?
Yeah, great guy, but he's producer down there.
Wouldn't every parent, when somebody drives up and says their name is Boogie, let their kid go to New York City with them? I don't know, we did. But
That had to be hard to figure out, though, too, as parents. Like, what's the balance between allowing your child this freedom to pursue his passion and doing what you...
too lenient.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's interesting, though, like it was even maybe particularly more of a sort of a leap of faith back then for you to kind of get behind some of these things, because this was before social media. Like now, lots of young people can jump into the idea of starting a YouTube channel or making content and filming things, and it's sort of a common career path. But
because folks like you created a roadmap. For it.
Yeah, maybe. But back then, to get on television, you didn't just go make a television show yourself and then hope that somebody saw it. It was, you'd have to actually, become a comedian, and then have a television production company would hire you to be in a TV show, and you'd be basically making a real television show right away, and there'd be other steps to get. You couldn't just go make your own independent TV show and put it on the air. So, but then it's become pretty normal now for kids to go out and pull pranks on their parents and get paid for it off of their YouTube channel and their TikTok channel.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
By the way, do you vividly recall the pornography on the car?
Very vividly, yes, I do.
What comes to mind on that front?
Well, pornography on the car, and geez, I thought, what in the hell?
Yeah.
And I thought, it's permanent paint, Who would do something stupid like that? Must have been my son.
So I want to fast forward to the MTV show. First, the promo starts running, I think, before maybe a month or so before the show's on the air, and the fame is almost immediate, and then obviously the show becomes a quick hit. What do each of you remember from that period?
I remember we came down to New York, and Dick and I were walking along the street, and some woman came up to us and said, "Oh, thank you so much for giving us Tom." I thought, what? I couldn't believe it. I thought, like, I was just shocked.
Because you were in New York City.
Because we were in New York City, and how would anybody know who I was? But I guess they'd seen already some of the clips from his show.
After all those pranks, it was our pleasure.
Yeah, right. But so that was a big surprise for sure.
What was it about the Oprah appearance that maybe made some of the pranks a little more tolerable?
Well, just meeting Oprah was a great thing.
Because she knew we were really nervous, and she kind of had her arm around me a little bit at one point because she knew we were nervous. Yeah. And then she presented us with this cruise to Tahiti, and we thought, what? And
even for me, even being on the air and stuff, going on Oprah was unbelievable. That was the first talk show that I was on in the United States, was Oprah, and then Letterman was second. So it was that was the moment where maybe we all realized, oh, this is actually,
maybe this is going to work.
Yeah, because even it's weird to say, but like put in perspective for the American audience, like we didn't have MTV growing up in Canada. Like we have had much music. The first time I really saw MTV was when I moved to New York to be on MTV, which I think was helpful because it was less intimidating being on MTV. I just didn't understand how much MTV really kind of permeated through all of society.
Right.
And that the second that the show was on the air, everybody knew
about it.
And we're on Oprah. It was just it was a bit of a shock.
The cancer, we talked about this at, I think, decent length in the interview, and Tom was talking about how the recovery from that was really several years because of the pain and the nerve damage, and he mentioned that you guys were a couple of his closest confidants and talking through what was going on. Anything that most stands out to each of you from that period?
Jeez.
It was a very difficult time because Tom was sick, and then you got sick, and my sister was ill at the time. She died from breast cancer right around that time as well. So it just seemed like everything was crashing down on the family. It was hard. It was, and it just didn't seem like it should have happened because you were just on such a roll.
Yeah, that's right.
And then that sort of all came to a screeching halt.
Mm-hmm. Everything was going great, and then all of a sudden, yeah.
But you even filmed the thing in the hospital. I thought, how does he have, I really didn't want you to do that. I thought, why are you doing this, And there were the cameras in the hospital.
What did you say when she's saying, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Well, if you watch the special, you'll see it was sort of somewhat flippant, but I think it might have been a sort of a way of coping with it.
I'm probably going to die. I have cancer.
You're not.
Okay, I want to wear the suit at my funeral, okay? I'm saying that right now.
Well, what did the doctor tell you today? He said, Tom, you're going to be fine, and they're going to take really good care of you, and we're going to make sure that they do. You're going to be fine.
You're wrinkling my suit, Mom.
Oh.
We did some fun bits, huh?
Oh, yeah, fun bits.
But, I think it was actually a coping mechanism for sure. It just seemed like the natural thing to do at that point. But it was, it's definitely one of my favorite episodes of all of the hundreds of episodes we ever did is the cancer special. Watch it on YouTube today in its entirety, and it's a pretty interesting piece of TV.
So around the same time, what are you thinking or when you're just on the back end of Tom getting through his cancer, and then you find out you have cancer yourself?
Well, yeah, it was a sort of a shock because I wasn't really feeling bad or anything, and they came and said you got cancer, and so I thought, oh well, it's no big deal. I'll whip it out, right? But then it turns out it was a big deal, and then I called Tom, and they said they're going to operate on me in 3 or 4 months, and he said, well, Grace, get your ass down here and we'll get it done next week. So, so that's what I did. Yeah.
The key to getting through that period as a family was what, you think?
1 foot at a time.
Yeah,
One foot step forward and just keep on trucking, I think. Yeah.
So fast forward a couple decades, we're now at your beautiful place here, hour and a half outside of Ottawa. What do you think the future holds for you here?
Well, I mean, the cool thing about living here for me is this is the first place I've ever lived where I know I'm going to be here. This is the last place I'm going to, not to be morbid or anything, but I don't plan on ever leaving here, you know? I mean...
should we get the funeral suit
No, I mean, it's going to be a long time down the road. I just planted 2,000 trees along the front of the property here, and I plan to see them grow up to be big, tall, white pine trees, and, 30 years from now, it's going to be amazing. You guys might not be there for that, but no, but...
no, we should get our funeral suits then.
Who knows? But no, the point is everywhere I've ever lived, I always think, okay, well, here for now, and I'm going to move somewhere. But this is the first time I've ever felt like I'm here, I'm home. There's a lot to do here.
Responsibilities. You've got donkeys and horses.
Got some horses and donkeys.
Yeah.
Like the donkey will definitely outlive me for sure. Donkey's lived to be 50 years old, and she's only 2.
Being back living here, in your guys' opinion, has impacted him how?
I think he's a lot more relaxed and happy and focused on, things other than just work or stand up or whatever. I mean, he's got this whole property and all of these sorted livestock to focus on, and
it's hard when you're living
happier.
in Los Angeles and you're working in the television business and you know that the only reason you're in Los Angeles is because you're working in the television business. It's hard to at any point stop thinking about work because the only reason you're here is to be working. You're saying, well, why am I here in Los Angeles? Oh, it's because I'm trying to work in the in show business, right? You think, well, my family's back thousands of miles away, and I like living and being in nature, find it relaxing. So it's hard to sort of be worrying about, your show or your job or other things that are kind of not natural things for human beings to worry about if you're actually walking out in the woods and experiencing nature like that. So it keeps you in the moment. It really does. It really is just every day you get up and you go outside and you feel just automatically in the moment. And it's really a good thing.